I saw you, we were here because I came to take you to the courthouse to probate your mother's will.
There's still some issues between, I guess, how my father feels and how I feel.
Tell me a little bit about that.
I guess he feels like, I'm gonna say blindsided, but it's not done the right way.
I suppose Traci was the glue, and we were unaware that she was a double stick. In any case, I used to music. As I thought be let damn, I always told Mommy and Mikey this. Music? Okay. So after Traci Braxton's death, the Braxton family situation has taken an unexpected turn. From disparaging her to starting rumors about her husband and kicking her off sets, Traci's son Kevin Jr. has made it his personal mission to reveal how his aunts treated his mother. It appears that Traci endured a lot, but the Braxtons are unwilling to face the truth about any of it, especially Toni, who is stifling Kevin Jr. What did Kevin say, and is there any truth to it? Was Traci truly mistreated by those closest to her, or is there more to the story? Let's discover that there has been chaos in the Braxton home ever since Traci died. When fans discovered Traci's will, they discovered that she had placed her son in control, which was a surprising decision. She wrote, "I direct my personal representative to pay all costs and expenses of my last illness and funeral expenses. I expressly hope that my sorority, Zeta Beta Sorority Inc., and the Eastern Stars will not hold any sort of memorial service or last rites. This is not to say that I don't care about my beloved organizations, rather. I just want to move on with the least amount of suffering possible for my loved ones. I therefore give Clifton Jones management of all entities related to my brand image, name, and likeness. And I provide instructions that I be cremated after my death and that my remains be given to my son Kevin Sherritt Jr. and my spouse Kevin Sherritt Sr. Clifton Jones will no longer be responsible for this duty after the. My counsel, Antavius M. Weiss, will decide if Kevin Sherritt Jr. is prepared to take full responsibility for the brand's image, name, and likeness." This surprised fans because Traci had a long list of other people she could have put in charge, including her husband and sisters, but she cut them all out. To most people, this screamed drama. Why would Traci make such a bold decision? Well, the story is now coming to light, and most fans believe that Traci did this as a last resort because she was being severely mistreated by her family, and this was the only way she could protect herself. If you think that's a stretch, you might want to look at how the family has been blaming one another, according to one insider. According to the insider, which revealed the details on page 6, Traci did not want a funeral or wake. She did not want people looking all over her body. She specifically requested to be cremated immediately. There was a Zoom meeting that made it clear what she wanted, and now her husband is trying to profit from her name. The Braxton sisters simply want their late sister Traci to rest in peace, but it appears that her husband and management planned a viewing with Zoom links and a funeral service against her final wishes, and the family didn't approve of it at all. Although their father, Michael Conrad Braxton, did attend the viewing, he was turned away at the entrance since he was not on the list. Toni and their mother, Evelyn Braxton, chose not to attend. He was so disappointed that he wasn't on the list. The insider also said that a church member recognized him and let him entry, forcing him to take a seat in the 4th row. Braxton's father was prohibited from speaking or saying anything about his daughter, but Kevin Sr. put an end to the rumors by telling media outlets that his father-in-law and brother-in-law came in briefly and that he had invited the sisters, but they did not show up. He also claimed that he was with his wife more than anyone else in the world, that he knew her well, that when she was diagnosed with cancer, we really began talking about funeral arrangements, that I was still looking for treatments for her, that's how we were, and that now they're treating me like a deadbeat husband. Traci wanted her management, public relations, and other members to join together and commemorate her by holding a viewing and a memorial ceremony, but that's only the beginning. After clearing his reputation, Kevin Sr. pointed his cannon of truth toward the sisters, accusing them of taking advantage of Traci's death. He also informed followers that the sisters were determined to cause Traci trouble while she was still living.
Now, I guess the rumor went from there. So my sister-in-law, Tawanda, had got with Traci's management team, which the assistant manager, they came up with this thing that I had an illegitimate child, and they put it on the show. But the child was my grandson's I had. And so the funny part is, like I was telling Trey, I said, Trey, you know, that's how we ended up going on marriage boot camp. I said, so if you look at it, it looked one way, but it turned into something else because we was able to go on marriage boot camp and work out some of our issues. So it really elevated our marriage. So thank you, is what I said to that situation, because it turned into a positive. So
after my nap, I head to the venue to get a run through with my band and my background sewers. This is the last rehearsal before the show, and I'm a little nervous because I haven't performed in over 6 months. It seems like he was pointing fans in the right direction because, looking back, the sisters were nothing but cruel to Traci. Traci was mistreated. For example, in this clip, Traci made fun of her sisters for making them carry their bags instead of letting her on stage with them. Music, you're a lugage. I used to hang out with my sisters once, and then Tamar ejected Traci from her film shoot. I know how you're feeling, and I'm thrilled about that great-grandbaby, so I should deal with my sister. Music, NOWToni is here, but I can't wait to get it. I know I go through a lot, and it's an exciting time. The trouble is, Mommy, I went to see you because she was rude and disrespectful, and she knew she was wrong. I'm not sure what's going on with this family, and even Traci's friends seem to think that the way her sisters were treating her was completely wrong coming to the ranch. Talk to Toni, you know, and get the sisterhood back because this is crazy. I don't understand why you miss your sisters. I know you do, TR, and I miss working with them. They decided they wanted to handle their business a certain way, so I chose to stay and work okay with my sisters when they're ready to return. So your sisters aren't part of the show anymore, but they're part of the show when they want to return. This is all new to me, but it's up to them, so come something. Having a large family like that together is difficult because I'm in the middle. You are aware of commercial matters. My family may be going through some difficult times, but our bond is unbreakable. We may say new things to one another, but we must eventually face each other and acknowledge when we are mistaken. After all you have left is your family. Are they angry with you for continuing or not? I can't say for sure because we don't discuss business. We text and talk on the phone, but we never discuss business. And I like that better because you know Traci wanted to focus on running her business and doing her job. I admire Traci for having the guts to continue working on the show while her sisters are on strike because many people wouldn't have the strength to do that. I just hope that their sisterly bond will never be broken, and if you think that fans might be probing too much, how about hearing Traci's own words in one episode? Traci spoke to a therapist about how her sisters mistreated her, and she wasn't happy about it. I support them constantly, and when it comes to my big event, you're right, that would have music rolled me. I feel like God just needs support, so I wanted to give you this opportunity to discuss what happened in Miami. Well, it was a Saturday, and I just discovered that I was getting an ambassador from UNCF. I'm considering attending the Mosby that evening, but I couldn't go to the B to AC because music would have said, hell no, believe me, ID, I can't and it seemed that she also expressed some of her thoughts to Kevin.
Well.
Go on, Traci and Kevin.
No one. I ain't ready for that yet. Why would I talk to him right now? I'm being talented. I'm already going through some stuff. I don't have time for that.
Sure don't, Traci.
It's been a very tough year for me. When my niece Lauren died, I took it very hard, extremely hard.
I know you
She's
did.
like a daughter to me. So I stayed out of my sister's drama because I just can't add to my emotions and stress right now.
But
However, as we previously said, Traci's husband is far from perfect, and it seemed like he was more worried about her wife abandoning Kevin Jr. in leadership than anything else. I saw you, and we were here because I came to take you to the courthouse M2, you know, probate your mother's will. As far as I can tell, there are still some issues between my father and me. I suppose he feels like I'm being blindsided, but it's not like it's done incorrectly. So I think that's just difficult for her to understand, like why she put everything in my hands. The situation surrounding her legacy has been something that's deeply personal to me, and it carries a weight that feels like a mix of honor and heartache. Reflecting on that time, I often wonder if she was truly at peace with all that was happening. I think about when I visited her mother before she started to decline. Many people don't realize this, but her mother gave me explicit permission to record her. In fact, we recorded the entire conversation. Every time we spoke, I could sense that there was a layer of protection, as though she knew someone might challenge her decisions at some point. She had full control over what she wanted, and she wasn't leaving anything to chance. From the very beginning, she had a clear vision of who she trusted to carry out her wishes. She knew exactly what she was doing when it came to who would take charge of her estate, her brand, and her likeness. And without a doubt, that person was me. She trusted me, and she believed in my ability to protect what she had built. I've always respected the trust she placed in me, especially since there were things she wanted to keep between her and her attorney. But one thing was clear: she was absolutely lucid when she made these decisions. I vividly remember her standing in her kitchen, cooking her famous oxtails and curry chicken. Those were meals that symbolized more than just food. They were part of her essence. It was during these visits, these moments of clarity, that I truly understood the extent of her trust. Her mind was sharp, and she knew exactly what she was doing. This wasn't just about an estate or assets. It was about preserving her image, her legacy, and the story she wanted told. And throughout those visits, I knew she was speaking from a place of certainty. She didn't need anyone to confirm it because she was fully in control. She made sure that I understood the weight of the responsibility, but she also made it clear that I was the person who she wanted to carry on her work. As time went on, it became more apparent that she had carefully thought about her end-of-life wishes. She had never wanted a traditional funeral service. It wasn't out of disdain for her loved ones or the people she had known over the years, but because she didn't want her death to be a burden. She didn't want her friends, family, or sorority sisters to grieve excessively. She didn't want people to spend the rest of their lives mourning her loss. Instead, she wanted them to celebrate her life, to look back at all the joy she brought into their lives, and to carry that positivity forward. She had a unique way of thinking about life and death. She was all about living in the moment, creating memories, and partying like there was no tomorrow. She knew the people she loved were going to miss her, but she also wanted them to celebrate her life rather than dwell on her passing. I remember, even as I reflect on it now, how profoundly I was moved by her outlook. She didn't want to be remembered by a funeral procession or a memorial service. She wanted her legacy to be carried on by the people who understood the essence of who she was. From my perspective, I feel the weight of the expectations placed on me, but I also understand where the family dynamics come into play. I was born into this family, and you, on the other hand, were married into it. That lineage, that bloodline, carries with it a responsibility, an inheritance that comes with both privileges and challenges. It's been a journey of growth for both of us, and I've watched you evolve in ways that I didn't expect. Your resilience and your adaptability have been remarkable, and I think about how much you've changed since we first crossed paths. And I'm proud of you for it. The lessons we've learned together have only deepened our understanding of who we are, where we come from, and where we're going. Through it all, we both continue to carry that legacy forward, in our own ways. It's been a journey that neither of us could have predicted, but one that's made us both stronger. The vision she had for her legacy, and the responsibility she placed in my hands, will never be taken lightly. She trusted me, and that trust is something I carry with me every day. It's a responsibility I don't take for granted, and one that will guide my every decision moving forward. Just the mental she knew you had it, didn't you? She's smiling right now. She is smiling. Toni Williams has really armed Kevin with a lot of knowledge, clarity, and information to get some understanding about why Traci did things the way she did for Little. Kevin, anytime you can hear something from someone who can remove themselves from a situation is always a good thing. Furthermore, some people think that he was the one who first caused his wife's illness. If you thought that was awful, a few months ago, There was even a video showing Kevin Sr. touching Kevin Jr. for an unknown purpose.
You told me no. You told me no. You told me no. You told me no. When I asked you if let me live in my house, no, I said no, I won't. You said no, though. But you said no. You told me no. You told me no. I'm not lying. I have no reason to lie to you. There you go. There you go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Cancer. Before my wife.
Now, fans never got the real story, but they did have their theories, like fighting over money. One person commented, "It's crazy how people would defend this dude when Traci spent years with him and did not trust leaving everything with him because she probably knows he would have been splurging on another woman and would have moved on in a heartbeat. Dude sounds mad because he can't live off of her or something." Furthermore, can you imagine what Traci would have done if she saw him pummeling her son? Like this, sorry, but nah, dude always gave me weird vibes, and I feel like he's going to seriously try to hurt that boy now that he has all of the money he needs to cut his father off after this. I can't believe people still defend him and his own wife doesn't even trust him. Goodness. But see, this might not even be the worst part according to that little interview. Kevin Sr., Traci's son, is having a hard time following his mother's passing. We're talking a rough divorce, substance use issues, the grief of losing his mom, and health issues. Kevin Jr. isn't coping well and he's using drugs and alcohol. Have you heard this rumor? I heard the rumor about the booze, or not the drugs, music. I really feel like Kevin is definitely processing something, like he's never had what he's never had in his life. And unfortunately, sometimes the things we use to cope with to go through vies that are not good for our existence. So right now I'm working with him to make sure he addressed things probably, and worst of all, he's got no one in his corner. You can cross off Kevin Sr. right off the bat. And as for his aunts, well, they were never close to him to begin with. How close was the Braxton with Jr. before Traci got sick? 20%. Oh, okay, they may be working extra hard to be in his corner right now, like the time he had a health scare on site, but many feel their care isn't coming from a place of worry. It appears like they're all interested in Traci's money. One person wrote, before Traci got sick, the Braxton only spent 20% of their time with Junior, but now they are spending a lot more time with him. I think their new interest in their nephew has a lot to do with money, since he gets paid for Traci's likeness. We should have known since Towanda filed for bankruptcy. Another person, I don't think either side will ever completely reveal the truth. I think they are abusing Traci's kid. And although I do believe she wanted her tale aired in some form, it wasn't this way. I'll also state that hubby will always get a side eye from me. She left everything to her son, like your ass wasn't right there alive. And well, there's something everyone isn't talking about. Allow her to rest in peace and move forward with the show, displaying y'all's own drama, or cancel the shot again. And is Towanda still trying to make Scratchy happen? She claims that she's always called Kevin Jr. Scratchy, yet no one has ever heard it before. She didn't call him that on Braxton Family Values. Her sisters didn't know about it. Her smartphone didn't know it. Her own kids didn't know it. Towanda always needs someone to look down on. If she was cool with Traci, she'd look down on Tamar. If she was cool with Tamar, she'd look down on Traci. The last we saw on Braxton Family Values, Towanda was cool with Tamar, and both were bashing Traci for filming BFB while they were on strike, and Towanda and her boyfriend were plotting sister sit-downs, despite Traci making it known multiple times that she didn't want that. Leading up to the snake comment, now that Traci's gone, Towanda's back to having a problem with Tamar, while Trina is spending every episode being mad at Kevin Sr. She needs to remember that the people who treated Traci bad were her very own sisters, Towanda, Tamar, and sometimes Toni. And don't get me started on the mom. Does she even talk to Kevin Jr. outside of filming? I doubt it. However, Toni's been trying to paint a different picture. She recently opened up about her late sister, admitting that it's difficult trying to live with a broken heart following her passing. During an interview with People, the singer said, "She's always with me. I miss her every day. I can't even tell to you much I miss her." Toni also claimed that WTV's forthcoming The Braxtons reality series would uncover the anguish coping with bereavement and loss. "I miss her, but I know she's with me. I know she's holding my hand and talking to me and giving me the courage to get up here and have a good time and entertain you guys, 'cause this is what I love." doing as a performer. However, given everything that has happened, fans find it hard to believe her words. At the end of the day, the Braxton household is a mess, and Kevin Jr. seems to be getting the worst of it. Do you think this is the real reason why Traci left him in charge of the will, and are the Braxton sisters that desperate for money? Let us know what you think in the comments section, and make sure to check out this next video.